Interesting. May we assume that my board diary has been read onto the record?
It is incorrect.
Dr. Smith, a BRAC stands for breath alcohol content, correct?
That's exactly right.
And that's what the Intoxilizer 8000 measures.
That's right, and then we can use that initial number to convert to the BAC, which is how we measure legal limits in Midlands.
Now, BRAC tests, like the Intoxilizer 8000, can be influenced by residual alcohol in the mouth, correct?
That's right. If someone takes a mouthwash or has a breath mint right before taking a breathalyzer test, we may see a spike in the report. For instance, the first subject sample would be much higher than the second. That's how we know that there may be residual mouth alcohol.
And this is why the procedure of waiting for 15 minutes is in place, so that that alcohol is time to evaporate.
Of course, someone needs to observe the subject for 15 minutes or more, as we did in this case.
However, you only observed the individual for 5 minutes, correct?
That's right. After the 20 minutes that Officer Foster had observed him, from the time the defendant was handcuffed at the scene until the time he arrived in my lab.
Let's talk about when Officer Foster arrived at the lab, though. When Officer Foster arrived, you had a conversation with him.
I did, yes.
You had a conversation that was out of the earshot of Danny Dawson.
I believe that the defendant was within the room. I don't know if he could hear us or not.
Danny Dawson wasn't being watched when you were having that conversation with Officer Foster, correct?
He was in the room with me, yes.
And Officer Foster was the one who had observed Danny Dawson for 20 minutes, you said?
Yes, he had been handcuffed at the scene. It was a 20-minute drive to the Midlands Police Department lab.
So you're saying that Officer Foster watched Danny Dawson while driving the car?
Yes.
Now, before the results came out of that test, you thought Danny Dawson's legal limit, you thought Danny Dawson's BRAC would be around the legal limit, correct?
That's what I thought. Of course, I was wrong.
You've seen hundreds of these tests performed. You've actually performed them.
Yes, I would say I've performed thousands over the years.
Thousands. And you thought that before the test was done, that Danny Dawson's BRAC would not be anywhere near the amount that was portrayed on the machine.
That's right. In this case, I was wrong.
No further questions, Your Honor.